I want to talk to you about something that might sound a little shocking at first. You need to stop being kind to everyone. Now, before you misunderstand me, let me be clear. I'm not saying you should be rude, bitter, or cold-hearted. What I'm saying is that your kindness has limits, and it's time to start using it wisely. Some of you are exhausted, worn out, and discouraged, not because you are not loving enough, but because you've been giving kindness to the wrong people. You've been saying yes when you should have said no. You've been carrying burdens that were never meant to be yours, and if that's you, it's time for a change. Kindness is often mistaken for weakness. Many people believe that being kind means always saying yes, never standing up for yourself, and constantly putting others before your own needs. But that's not true. Kindness is a strength, not a weakness. However, when it is given without boundaries, it can quickly turn into something that drains you rather than empowers you. Some people confuse being nice with being passive. They assume that if they keep giving, forgiving, and sacrificing, they are doing the right thing. But the truth is, kindness that lacks wisdom becomes an open invitation for others to take advantage of you. There's a difference between being genuinely kind and being so agreeable that people start walking all over you. When you let others constantly take without giving, you're not practicing kindness, you're allowing yourself to be used. Being kind should never mean lowering your standards or allowing people to mistreat you. It doesn't mean tolerating disrespect or letting others push you around just to keep the peace. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is set firm boundaries and say, "No, I won't allow this." Real kindness is rooted in strength, and it requires you to know your worth. When you truly understand your value, you stop allowing people to drain your energy without giving anything in return. People who misuse kindness often look for those who are too afraid to say no. They look for the ones who always feel guilty for standing up for themselves. They take advantage of the fact that some people fear conflict more than they value their own well-being. That's why it's so important to recognize that saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you wise. You don't have to explain yourself every time you set a boundary. You don't owe everyone unlimited access to your kindness. There's also a difference between being kind and being a people pleaser. A kind person helps others out of genuine love and care, while a people pleaser does it out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of disappointing others, or fear of not being liked. If your kindness is coming from a place of fear, it's not real kindness. It's an attempt to gain approval at the cost of your own peace. And if you keep living that way, you'll eventually feel empty, used, and exhausted. Strong kindness means knowing when to give and when to step back. It means recognizing when someone genuinely needs your help versus when someone is just taking advantage of your generosity. It means refusing to let others manipulate your kindness for their benefit. You can be kind and still be strong. You can be generous and still be wise. You can be loving and still be firm. The world doesn't need more people who let others walk all over them. It needs people who show kindness with wisdom, who give with discernment, and who understand that true kindness comes from strength, not weakness. Not everyone deserves your energy. This is a hard truth to accept, especially for those who naturally want to help, support, and be there for others. But the reality is, some people only take without giving anything back. They drain you emotionally, mentally, and even physically, yet you continue to pour into them, hoping that your kindness will eventually change them. The problem is, some people are not looking to change. They are only looking for what they can get from you. There are people in your life right now who only reach out when they need something. They don't check on you. They don't support you, and they don't care about your struggles. Yet the moment they have a problem, they suddenly remember your name, and because you have a kind heart, you keep showing up for them. You keep answering their calls, you keep lending a helping hand, and you keep making sacrifices for people who wouldn't do the same for you. This is where you must ask yourself, why am I allowing my kindness to be wasted on those who don't value it? Your energy is precious. Your time, your emotions, and your mental space are all valuable resources. When you spend them on people who don't appreciate or respect you, you're robbing yourself of the chance to invest in relationships that actually bring joy, growth, and peace into your life. You cannot save everyone. You cannot fix people who don't want to be fixed. You cannot continue to exhaust yourself for those who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. Some people are masters at playing the victim. They make you feel guilty for not helping them. They manipulate you into thinking that if you don't step in, their world will fall apart. But pay attention. Are they truly in need, or are they just using you because they know you'll always be there? It's not your job to carry burdens that don't belong to you. It's not your responsibility to rescue people who refuse to take control of their own lives. You were never meant to be someone's emotional crutch or their backup plan when things go wrong. Real relationships require mutual effort. If someone only remembers you when they need something, that's not a relationship, that's convenience. If someone only values you for what you can do for them, that's not love, that's selfishness. The people who truly deserve your energy are the ones who respect your time, appreciate your efforts, and are there for you just as much as you are there for them. You have to learn to say no to those who drain you so you can say yes to those who uplift you. You have to stop giving priority to people who treat you as an option. You have to stop allowing your kindness to be a free pass for others to take advantage of you. Not everyone deserves your energy, and once you start protecting it, you'll find yourself surrounded by people who truly value and respect you. Love doesn't mean always saying yes. Many people think that if they truly love someone, they have to agree with them, support them no matter what, and never set limits. But that's not real love. Real love includes boundaries, discipline, and even saying no when necessary. When you say yes to everything and everyone, you aren't being loving. You're being afraid. Afraid of rejection, afraid of disappointing others, afraid of confrontation. But love isn't built on fear. It's built on truth, and sometimes the truth requires you to say no. People will pressure you to believe that if you care about them, you will always be available, always help, and always put their needs above your own. But if saying yes to someone else means saying no to yourself, that's not love. That's self-sacrifice without purpose. Love doesn't mean losing yourself to make others happy. It doesn't mean letting people take advantage of your kindness just because you don't want to upset them. Love must be balanced with wisdom, or it turns into enabling. Some people in your life are used to you always saying yes. They are used to you agreeing with them, supporting them, and bending over backward to meet their needs. But the moment you say no, they make you feel guilty. They accuse you of being selfish or unkind. This is a clear sign that they were never truly appreciating your love. They were just using it. Genuine love respects boundaries. It understands that sometimes the best way to love someone is by refusing to give them what they want. Saying no doesn't mean you don't care. It means you recognize that some requests, some situations, and some relationships are unhealthy. Love isn't about giving people everything they want. It's about giving them what they need. And sometimes what people need is to hear the word no. They need to learn that they can't always rely on you to fix their problems, to carry their burdens, or to say yes just to keep the peace. If you always say yes, people will assume they can take from you without limits. They will see your kindness as a resource they can use rather than a gift they should appreciate. And the more you give in, the more they will expect. You must be willing to disappoint people in order to protect yourself. You must be willing to let people be upset if it means maintaining your peace. You must be strong enough to stand firm in your no, even when it's uncomfortable. The truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you constantly say yes to everyone else, you will eventually have nothing left for yourself. Love is not about people-pleasing. It's about doing what is best, even when it's hard. When you learn to say no without guilt, you begin to understand that love is not just about giving, it's about giving wisely. Protecting your peace is one of the most important things you can do for yourself, yet it's something many people struggle with. Too often we allow toxic relationships, unnecessary drama, and constant negativity to invade our lives. We let people dump their problems on us, involve us in their conflicts, and drain us emotionally without realizing the toll it takes. But the truth is, your peace is your responsibility. No one else is going to protect it for you. If you don't make a conscious effort to guard your mind, your heart, and your emotional space, people will continue to take advantage of your kindness, and you'll be left feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. There are people in your life right now who are disrupting your peace. It might be the friend who constantly complains but never takes action to change their situation. It could be the family member who thrives on drama and always pulls you into their conflicts. It might even be your own tendency to overcommit, say yes when you should say no, or allow guilt to push you into situations that leave you drained. Whatever it is, you have to recognize that if something is consistently stealing your peace, it's time to address it. You do not have to be available to everyone at all times. You do not have to pick up every call, respond to every message, or attend every event just because someone expects you to. You are allowed to prioritize your well-being. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. The ones who get angry when you start protecting your peace were the ones benefiting from your lack of it. Pay attention to who gets upset when you start setting limits. Those are the people who were never respecting you in the first place. Protecting your peace also means learning to walk away from unnecessary conflicts. Not everything needs a response. Not every insult, criticism, or negative comment deserves your energy. Some people thrive on chaos and will do anything to drag you into it. They want to provoke you, waste your time, and pull you into their negativity. The best response in those moments is silence. Your peace is worth more than proving a point to someone who isn't even willing to listen. It's also important to create an environment that supports your peace. That means being mindful of what you consume, who you spend time with, and where you invest your energy. If something is consistently bringing stress, anxiety, or frustration into your life, you have the power to remove it. Your mental and emotional well-being are not secondary concerns. They should be a priority. At the end of the day, no one else is responsible for your peace except you. You don't owe anyone constant access to your time, energy, or emotions. The moment you start protecting your peace, you will realize how much lighter, freer, and happier you feel. Peace isn't just something you wish for, it's something you create, protect, and refuse to let go of. Kindness without wisdom is dangerous. Many people believe that as long as they are kind, they are doing the right thing. They think that helping others, giving endlessly, and always being available is the highest form of love. But the reality is, kindness that lacks wisdom can do more harm than good. If you are not careful, your kindness can be used against you. It can be manipulated, taken for granted, and even turned into a tool for others to control you. Without wisdom, kindness can become a trap that keeps you stuck in unhealthy situations, draining relationships and toxic cycles. There is a difference between truly helping someone and enabling them. When you help someone, you empower them to grow, take responsibility, and improve their life. But when you constantly rescue people from their own bad choices, you prevent them from learning valuable lessons. If someone refuses to take accountability for their actions and always expects you to bail them out, your kindness is not helping, it's allowing them to stay in the same destructive patterns. Wisdom teaches you to recognize the difference between genuine need and repeated irresponsibility. Some people do not appreciate kindness. They only see it as an opportunity to get what they want. They take advantage of your good nature, knowing that you will always say yes, always be there, and always sacrifice your own needs for theirs. These people do not respect you. They only value what they can get from you. If you continue to give without wisdom, you will eventually find yourself exhausted, emotionally drained, and taken for granted. Being wise with your kindness means knowing when to give and when to step back. It means recognizing when someone truly values your help versus when they are just using you for convenience. Wisdom also teaches you that not everyone deserves your kindness in the same way. Some people will appreciate it, reciprocate it, and be grateful for it. Others will see it as a weakness and use it to manipulate you. You must be able to discern who is worthy of your time, energy, and generosity. It's okay to say no. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to refuse to be taken advantage of. Kindness should not come at the cost of your self-respect, your peace, or your well-being. Being kind does not mean avoiding confrontation or letting people treat you however they want. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is hold someone accountable. Sometimes kindness looks like walking away from a toxic relationship. Sometimes kindness means refusing to tolerate disrespect. Wisdom allows you to understand that true kindness is not just about giving, it's about giving in the right way at the right time to the right people. When kindness is guided by wisdom, it becomes a force for good. But when it is given without thought, boundaries, or discernment, it can become the very thing that holds you back, hurts you, and keeps you from living a life of true peace and purpose. Saying no is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, yet so many people struggle with it. From a young age, we are taught to be polite, to be accommodating, to put others first. While there is nothing wrong with being kind and considerate, constantly saying yes to everything and everyone leads to exhaustion, resentment, and burnout. There comes a point when you have to realize that saying yes to others at the expense of your own well-being is not kindness, it's self-neglect. Many people feel guilty for saying no because they don't want to disappoint others. They fear being seen as selfish, rude, or unhelpful. But the truth is, every time you say yes to something that drains you, takes advantage of you, or disrespects your boundaries, you are saying no to yourself. You are saying no to your peace, your time, your priorities, and your own mental and emotional well-being. The people who genuinely respect and care about you will not be offended when you set boundaries. But those who only see you as someone to use will guilt-trip you, manipulate you, and make you feel bad for protecting yourself. Pay attention to how people react when you start saying no. That will reveal who truly values you and who only values what they can get from you. You cannot be everything for everyone. No matter how much you care, no matter how much you want to help, you have limits. You have your own responsibilities, your own dreams, and your own life to take care of. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, something that doesn't align with your values, or something that takes more than it gives, you are giving away a piece of yourself. Over time, you will feel drained, frustrated, and unfulfilled, not because you aren't kind enough, but because you haven't given yourself permission to say no when necessary. Saying no does not make you a bad person. It does not mean you don't care. In fact, sometimes saying no is the best thing you can do for someone. When you always say yes, you allow people to become dependent on you instead of taking responsibility for their own lives. You teach them that they can always rely on you, even at the cost of your own well-being. But when you say no, you give them the opportunity to grow, to figure things out for themselves, and to respect your time and energy. There is freedom in saying no. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, to surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries, and to live a life that aligns with your values. You don't have to explain yourself every time you say no. You don't have to feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. The more you practice saying no, the more you will realize that the world does not end. People adjust, and your life becomes much more peaceful. Not everyone deserves a place in your life. This is a difficult lesson to learn, especially for those who have a big heart and naturally want to see the good in people. You may want to believe that if you treat others with kindness, they will do the same in return. But the truth is, not everyone operates with the same level of respect, integrity, or care. Some people come into your life not to build you up, but to take from you, drain you, and leave you feeling empty. If you don't learn to discern who truly deserves a place in your life, you will find yourself surrounded by people who only bring stress, negativity, and disappointment. There are people who will only be around as long as you are useful to them. They will take your kindness, your support, your generosity, and your time, but the moment you stop giving, they disappear. These are the people who never check on you, never offer you the same care in return, and never show up unless they need something. If you find yourself in relationships that are one-sided, where you are always the one giving and never receiving, it's time to reevaluate. Relationships, whether friendships, family, or romantic, should be built on mutual respect, not one person constantly sacrificing while the other takes. Some people bring nothing but negativity into your life. They always have a complaint, a problem, or a crisis, and they expect you to drop everything to fix it. They are never happy, never satisfied, and no matter how much you try to help, they will always find something to be upset about. These people do not want solutions. They want attention, sympathy, and someone to constantly carry their burdens. If you continue to allow them into your life, they will rob you of your peace, drain your energy, and leave you emotionally exhausted. You do not have to keep people in your life just because of history, obligation, or guilt. If someone consistently disrespects you, undermines you, or takes advantage of your kindness, you have every right to distance yourself. Letting go of toxic relationships is not a sign of cruelty or selfishness. It is an act of self-respect. You are not responsible for fixing, healing, or caring people who refuse to take responsibility for their own actions. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your happiness, success, and peace of mind. If you are constantly around those who drain you, bring you down, or make you feel unappreciated, you will never reach your full potential. But when you choose to surround yourself with people who uplift you, respect you, and bring positivity into your life, you will find yourself growing, thriving, and living with a greater sense of purpose. Not everyone deserves a place in your life, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can create the kind of life you truly deserve. You were never meant to be everything for everyone. Your kindness, your time, and your energy are valuable, and not everyone deserves access to them. If you continue to give without wisdom, to say yes when you should say no, and to allow people into your life who only take without giving, you will find yourself drained, frustrated, and resentful. True kindness is not about pleasing everyone. It's about knowing when to give, when to step back, and when to walk away. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. Saying no is not cruel. It is setting a boundary. Choosing to remove toxic people from your life is not heartless. It is an act of self-respect. When you finally realize that not everyone deserves a place in your life, you will stop trying to earn love from those who do not appreciate you, and you will start investing in the relationships that truly matter. You owe it to yourself to be wise with your kindness, to guard your energy, and to surround yourself with people who uplift and respect you. Stop being kind to everyone at the expense of yourself. Give your kindness where it is valued, where it is reciprocated, and where it can truly make a difference. The moment you start doing that, you will find yourself lighter, freer, and finally at peace with the life you are creating.